Jay Harbaugh is obviously the son, so he's going to be gone. Grant Newsom's a name we're hearing, right? But he might get promoted O-line coach, so I think that might be enough to make him stay. And I think it would be the next logical step, considering he was the tight end coach, right? Which would be the same progression that Sharon Moore had from tight end to offensive line. So I'm thinking that may be enough to stay. Mike Elston's a name to watch, but I just was reading something from a legitimate source that he might get promoted to co-defensive coordinator. So, but the thing to watch is Jesse Minter's gone, so who's going to be the next defensive coordinator, right? And I think what they might be looking for is an experienced coordinator. I would think possibly Clinkscale because he's familiar with the scheme, right? But
yeah.
And he is co-defensive coordinator, and he does the back end of the defense. So, I mean, if anyone knows the schematics, it's him. So we'll see. The name to watch for defensive coordinator is Jim Leonard, former Wisconsin defensive coordinator. That's a name to watch.
Wow. I've been talking about Jim Leonard for USC, and then they went with UCLA's defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You think they'd go out external and maybe leave the kind of 4-2-5 kind of multiple that they built up?
So the belief is actually they would continue the scheme that Minter and McDonald has already instilled in the program, but they would bring in an external candidate or an external coordinator because they want the experience with a first-time head coach, right? So we'll see, though. I mean, I think it's potentially possible you see something with Clinkscale and Mike Elston because they know the culture, they know the scheme. I mean, honestly, Elston should probably be a defensive coordinator somewhere. An extremely talented defensive line coach. We're lucky to have him at Michigan. So
yeah,
and Clinkscale's ready too, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a disservice if Michigan went external, at least from a head coach perspective. I think if Jim Leonard is a very experienced DC, I think we would be happy to have him. But I just want to make sure, that the Michigan defense, is still upheld because that's what's been beating Ohio State, and now Washington is going to be joining, and Oregon, and it's not just Ohio State that's going to have that high octane offense anymore. Now it's going to be a couple of Ohio States, right? And so having that defense is I think is going to be really key.
Yes, yeah, especially because we got USC, Washington.
Yeah, USC.
Major step back for Washington. I don't imagine they'll be nearly as competitive as they were this year.
Right.
But we got Oregon, USC. I don't think we have UCLA next year, correct? I think that's 25. So
25, I think. Yeah, it used to be 24, and then they changed it.
Right. So, because Chip Kelly, but I mean, I think keeping the scheme is the right move. We'll see what they go with there. But I just want to touch on Herbert.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's too pricey for the Chargers. So.
Oh, good.
They don't want to spend like $1 million plus on a strength and conditioning coach because at the pro level, strength and conditioning coaches aren't as valued as they're at the college level. So, plus, a
lot of them have their own trainers, right? A lot of them have their own personal trainers
in the off season, correct? So, also the nephew of Herbert's coming to Michigan this year. So, Zach Ludwig, linebacker out of Pennsylvania. So,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with Leonard as long as they don't do this. And this is we have to address this silliness because Bruce Feldman put it out there and others have put it out there, and we need to remind people that that these agents and reporters have symbiotic relationship, right? Because agents give reporters scoops, and then in return, reporters get these names out there. So that, Brian Kelly can negotiate himself a nice raise at LSU for I guess, having a Heisman quarterback and going 9-3. But Brian Kelly, why would they do this? Or is this just 100% BS?
100% BS. There's no way it's happening. It's going to be Sharon Moore.
Yep.
I've also heard that it's his agent leaking this. So
that's what I thought.
Because from Michigan inner circles, he's not on the radar. So from the people I'm hearing things from. So
Good.
I think it's something that's more just trying to get his name out there, potentially creating value, like you said with LSU.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. I actually don't think it'd be too long of a search either. Like, so say Harbaugh does leave for the Chargers, still to be determined. I don't think Michigan will wait long. I think they want to get everything going. I think within a week, you would get that completed.
Yeah, because really the only wait would be putting together his deal and negotiating that might take a couple of days, but like it's pretty clear that Sharon Moore's been made the head coach in waiting,
Right.
especially because he was picked to be the head coach, the interim head coach during that final stretch, and of course beat 2 top 10 teams. Thank you very much. So so picking an external candidate after an OC beats Ohio State, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, no. And also, it's Brian Kelly, right? So it's not that he's a terrible coach, but, if Kalen DeBoer was available, I do think they would look at that. But considering he's not and all the top candidates are gone this cycle, I'm thinking they're probably just going to go with Sharon Moore and see how it goes for next season. Probably give him a 2-year window, and, we'll see how it goes.
There you have it. So you heard it right from TJ. 100% BS, and I believe it too, which means that would make it 200%. So there you go. There's your Michigan difference math for you.
Yeah.
So before we hop into the way too early depth chart, we've got a couple of reminders for everybody. When you're doing your shopping on Amazon, as many of us do from time to time, go ahead and hit the link in all of our videos, and then Voice of College Football gets a couple of bucks, and we can continue pushing out great content and channels and guests and all of this kind of stuff. So please consider doing that if you're already going to be shopping on Amazon. Hit up Patreon or YouTube membership on Voice of College Football. It starts at just $2.99. And sometimes Moose will just gift people subscriptions. So you might just be if you just contribute a lot, you might get a gifted subscription as well. And that gets you access to the Discord, 24/7 chat, and all of that good stuff. And finally, we have merch. Yes, we do. So go on. It's almost Valentine's Day. Maybe there's a college football significant other or friend or whatever the case may be for you to kind of get that going. I'm going to send the direct link to the Michigan portion of it, because we do have our friend Joey Foster, who puts this together and manages all the channels, has set us up with some specific Michigan gear, including a Rose Bowl tee, a national champion Michigan Wolverines tee, mug. We got hoodies. You got football flags. You even have a Michigan football dog bowl. So these are some of the things that you can take part in Michigan football merch store. So go on and check that out if you have a second.